This program is brought to you by Globe Asiatic.
Hello everybody, I'm Sonny Lopez and we're here at the Enclave in Angeles City. Welcome to another edition of the GA Report. Our show is the one-stop destination for our viewers who want to make money and get on the fast track to a rewarding and fulfilling business opportunity. Tonight, we will have a story on the most powerful mover and shaker of the real estate industry. We will also chronicle the highs and the lows of the housing market and the business of buying and selling real estate properties. But first, let's take a retrospective look on the Philippine real estate industry's ups and downs of years past.
The bursting of the United States housing bubble in 2005 to 2006 triggered a chain of events that had the global economy in dire financial straits. This ultimately led to global financial and economic gurus calling this the worst financial crisis since Black Tuesday ushered in the Great Depression. The world has witnessed 112 systematic banking crises from the 70s to 2001. But what made the recent crisis exceptional is its unnerving similarity to the Great Depression. It emerged from the bastion of global capitalism, the United States. With the whole world reeling from this latest recession, the general prognosis of local financial analysts in 2009 pointed to a bleak year for real estate and housing development. Not only were they proven wrong, but the exact opposite happened.
Based on the records of Pag-ibig, it was in fact a record year for us, no? Because in year 2008, the total takeout we have was only 34 billion. Now last year, it went up to 46 billion. So that is a 30% increase. Now for this year, we are forecasting at least a 20% increase. For as long as the units are affordable, there will be buyers, no?
Analysts now believe that the country's previous experience a decade ago, as well as the early recognition of the severity of the crisis, helped the country escape from the full blow of this economic downturn.
We learned a lesson in our Asian financial crisis in 1997. So, if you look at it, we're more lucky than other neighboring countries because all the system, banking system are in place. Crisis in real estate actually in the Philippines is not so much being affected. If you compare the prices of the steels, the cements, the components of building a house or a commercial building, it's 30% less. The right time really to build an infrastructure like this is 2009 and until now.
It also helped that some real estate developers saw this supposed crisis as an impetus to pull off what some may view as an unorthodox yet bold move to further develop housing and infrastructure.
If I were a developer last year, maybe I should slow down, no? But hindi yata nangyari yun sa Globe Asiatic. They continue on developing housing projects. In fact, they're planning to implement another huge project in Subic to service our workers situated at the Subic area.
This is Sonny Lopez. I'm with my partner, Mr. Delphin Lee, top honcho of Globe Asiatic. And we are talking about the real estate industry. And people are talking about the crisis. But I would like to ask Mr. DL if there's still a market, despite what we're experiencing in the country right now.
Sonny, there has always been a market. The market has always been there. It never disappeared. And so far in this industry, we never felt anything about the crisis.
But people are talking about a glut in Metro Manila.
There might be a glut in a specific sector.
Okay.
So you have to differentiate what market are we talking about. So in real estate, there are segments. of market, you might be talking about the super premier. So this might be houses in Forbes Park or Dasmariñas, price ranging from 40, 50 million upward. Maybe in that sector there might be an oversupply. But you have to differentiate also what are the needs. So you can talk about the premier and then the upscale projects, something like 10 million upward. And then you have to also discuss about the middle sector. This is from the 5 to 10 million.
Yes.
I would consider this middle class. And then you have, I would say, economic housing.
Okay.
From 5 down to 2 million. And then below 2 million, maybe we can even call it low-cost housing. Now, when we focus our attention to, when you say oversupply, you see a lot of high-rise building going up. Maybe in that sector there is an oversupply. Luckily, that market comprises only 1 or 2% of the whole market pie. Real estate, Sunny, is not only Metro Manila.
Yes.
The whole NCR comprises only 13% of the total market of our country.
Is that the reason why you went to the provinces? Because you have projects in Metro Manila?
We have, and we still continue to do projects in Metro Manila because that's the biggest population, right? But let's not forget that there is Cebu, there is Davao, there is Pampanga, there is... so there are also urban areas outside of Metro Manila that needs to be served.
So in every growth area, there's always a market.
Whenever there's a big population,
Yes.
there's a big demand for housing.
After the break, I'll ask you more questions.
All right.
Okay, we'll be right back.
More than a decade ago, Globe Asiatic and Pag-ibig entered a marriage that spawned thousands of Filipinos living in their own homes.
Pag-ibig Fund is a home lending institution, and Globe Asiatic is one of the developers which is being supported by Pag-ibig Fund. So right now, we have hundreds of developers throughout the country. Globe Asiatic is one of them. In fact, right now, the biggest among the developers being serviced by Pag-ibig.
The partnership continues to make Filipinos believe how practical and easy it is to realize their dream, however big or simple it is.
Name it and they have it, no? Kasi from socialized housing units as low as 400,000, meron sila. At saka yung mga high-end which could go as high as 5 million, meron din sila.
Welcome back. I'm here with my partner, Mr. Delphin Lee, no? Top honcho po ng Globe Asiatic. Are you eyeing the house renters, Mr. DL?
Precisely. Now that the interest rate has gone down, the economic situation now is quite stable.
Yes.
So, you know, real estate is very, very sensitive to interest rate. Because, let's face it, people who buy housing, or condominium for that matter, 95% of them buy through financing. Very few can actually afford to buy in cash. I was asked once by the Vice President, the Chairman of HATC, if it would make a big impact if Pag-ibig Fund reduced their interest rate. And I told him, yes, definitely. So, since 2 years ago, Pag-ibig decided to lower the interest rate, and so do the other private banks. This actually perks up the demand. Demand has always been there.
Yes.
It's an issue of affordability. So if you're talking of interest rate of 12-14%, it will actually double the monthly amortization that the buyer will have to pay.